I'm Dr. Chet from Sedona, Arizona, and this is part of being at Stonehenge on our final evening here in England in 2008.
I'm William Henry from Nashville. Pleased to be here at Stonehenge. Had a beautiful trip throughout the UK and Scotland, and just happy to be here.
Okay, I guess first question, obvious question, what's going to happen in 2012, the end of 2012?
That is the question. We are in the 2012 time now. It's more like a window or a gateway of time, and look all around. There's tremendous transformation happening on all levels, whether mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. We have societal changes. People are forecasting cataclysmic earth changes. We don't know if that's going to come about, but there's no question that we're in a pivotal time here, and each of us are now called to action to be our best and to reach for the highest that we possibly can.
Well, I think that 2012 is all about transformation, and the transformation may be of the earth, and it may be earth changes. Some people have certainly seen that. As many people know, I did a study called Mass Dreams of the Future, in which people did see this period of time as being one of great physical transformations on the earth, but it may equally be one of consciousness and actually internal transformation. I personally am not at all concerned that on the night of 21st of December 2012, all of a sudden the world is going to turn upside down, or, the skies are going to open up, or something fateful is going to take place. It's rather like the big Y2K millennium bug kind of thing in that. So people may be disappointed. But ultimately, 2012 is about what we're doing now. It's about I would say, the rush and really a sense of urgency that as the calendar of the ancients turns over and we start and come to a day where the same positions in the sky that were held thousands and thousands of years ago are to be held again, and the same energies that were given to a day are to be held again. We live up to something. We muster up, I guess is the right word, that we match that. And I think that's what is pushing people to do pilgrimages, such as going to sacred sites. It's pushing people to transform their lives. It's pushing people to investigate their lives. Why am I doing this or that? Am I stuck in a dead-end job, and do I want to do something more? And all of that's positive transformation.
Do you think there's anything humanity can do to reach an enlightened state? Is it something that they can do personally, something they can do for other people to help this speed along?
Of course there is, and that it begins with focusing on that and making it your life's quest to achieve that state. And fortunately, we're seeing signs that our culture is beginning to shift to be able to support that kind of thinking. And more as we get towards 2012. I mean, for example, Steven Spielberg has a new movie coming out called Interstellar, which is about wormholes, that's timed for 2012. That's a profound concept for many, but it's also got spiritual ramifications, and it's just one more sign that we are, in fact, going up another rung of the spiral, and we're all kind of gathering together, and we have this hunger for new ideas, new concepts, and most certainly one of those new ideas must involve the transformation of the species and becoming more of a spiritually oriented culture as opposed to a materialistic oriented culture.
Yes, I think anyone who knows, my work knows that I deal in past life therapy and future life progression work, so that clearly I believe that we as human beings come back to physical vehicles many times. So I don't think that anything is limited to one lifetime. And that's very important for me to keep in mind when we're talking about enlightenment, because it's really a process that could take eons of time. We do, though, have certain windows of opportunity, and this is what I see 2012 is essentially a window of opportunity. There'll be challenges, just as there always are whenever you have to move to a new level of something, but I do believe each person can help for their own personal enlightenment. Probably the best example we've had of that have been the great spiritual teachers like Krishna, Buddha, Jesus. All of them have taught us paths that lead to the same thing, and that is opening the heart, opening to compassion, opening to love, both of yourself, whoever and however you see yourself, and then once you love yourself, opening to other people. Because I think we have to start there with the loving of oneself and accepting of oneself, and only at that point can you begin to say, well, I can see myself in you, and therefore, if I can love me, I can love you. That's to me what the basis of enlightenment is really all about.
I mean, that leads on very well to my next question, was the fact that when people like the Buddha, Jesus, were they sent here to spread that message, or were they individuals who, through their own searching, found a knowledge to elevate themselves above, let's say, the common man?
I think it's really both. I mean, there's no question that they had a spiritual calling, and whether or not they were high spiritual beings from other realms or not, the point is, what did they do when they were here? What did they focus their lives on? And when you look at each of those figures, especially Jesus, they surrounded themselves by people that were also interested in achieving a high spiritual life. And that's the key thing, that going back to the question of what can people do now, surround yourself with like-minded people, network with people, become part of groups that are focused on the same kind of concepts, because there's tremendous power in uniting our hearts, uniting our minds, and achieving that state of oneness, which is the basis for many of the spiritual traditions. So I think, yeah, that they did come here with that mission, but they acted on that impulse as well, and that's the key thing. We have to bring that action really up to a higher state, higher level at this time.
Yeah, I certainly would agree with William that it's a question of both. Obviously, we're talking very high-level souls, and perhaps that came from other dimensions. All souls also live in other dimensions. I think all of us have a soul, and we also therefore participate in these other dimensions. Don't count out the ordinary human being. I think all of us have a tremendous part to play in this, and that we have role models in these great teachers. But they did come and inhabit human physical bodies. That's the one thing that all religions seem to have in common, that the teacher came and lived in a human body and was just like all the rest of us with that. So I think that as we learn how to deal with our lives, everyday or extraordinary or unordinary, surrounding ourselves with like-minded people, finding the key to our own self-achievement, our own self-love, ultimately coming back to that, we will get to that point of that the role models will then be something that we can become role models. Edgar Cayce, a very famous American psychic, once said that all human souls that are living on earth as humans, once we graduate, have the ability to become a Christ to another world and another set of souls in another place. And I think we all have that.
Sure. Just before we get rained off here.
As I love it, it's starting to rain on Stonehenge.
Anyone who's interested in both your ideas, your knowledge, your philosophies, is there a place where we can find out more about yourselves, your books, your works, contact yourself?
For William Henry, go to williamhenry.net. My books and DVDs are available there, as well as contact information, notices about events, that sort of thing. So that's williamhenry.net.
Right, and very similar, chetSnow.com. That's CHETSNOW.com, and that's my website. My email is on there, and I do try to answer emails when I'm not traveling. So